Hey, Starling, how are you? So, we've got 3 minutes to talk about the astrology of today. I might do a few of these things. I'm Vanessa Montgomery from Astro All-Starz. How are you? Good morning, good evening. So, the moon is currently at 28 degrees Leo, and the Leo plays so nicely with Gemini. And of course, the sun is in Gemini. Beautiful. It's a waxing moon moving up, and I think that the astrology, even the moon cycle, is really interesting to watch and consider as a bit of a gateway or a launch pad to enter into reflection and just thinking about the deeper meaning of things and themes coming up. So this all depends on how the transits, the astrology, the planets at the moment land in your birth chart. Of course, always. And I'm assuming that you know a bit of astrology, so I'm not going to give a 101 because I've written books for that. So go read my books and then come back and have a conversation with me. So I think it's really interesting, the moon in Leo, looking at that, about to go into Virgo. So here's me thinking about that and how this can work as a demo. So I wrote my horoscopes yesterday at Bam Bam Bakery, which is super cute in the Gold Coast here in Queensland, super cute bakery cafe. And the moon being in Leo, well, I started chatting, and Gemini, very chatty, to the lady next to me, who turned out to be a regular. She's a Leo. I was saying, well, let's guess the owner's name, because she was having a chat to him. And I thought, oh, they look similar. There's something. He's got a fixed sign quality about him from how she was describing him. So it turns out he's a Leo too. So here we are, surrounded by Leos. And synchronicity, she asked what my name was, and I said Vanessa, and she said, oh my gosh, that's my favorite name. I always thought when I have a daughter, I'm going to call her Vanessa. And so she did. So her daughter's name's Vanessa, her name's Vesna. And I said, well, who did you call Vanessa after? And she told me about this movie she saw, and that's what gave her the idea, which was Vanessa Redgrave, who's an actress. This is all very Leo, isn't it? I should look up her sign. And that's who my mother named me after seeing Vanessa Redgrave and a British actress live in a theatre show in London when she lived there back in I guess it was the 60s. Interesting, isn't it? Clocked that. So I've got more. I'm going to do it in the next 3 minutes. I only get 3 minutes at a time. So watch this thread. I'll tie them all together as well. So we've all got lots of Leo themes. I have South Node in Leo. I've got lots of Sag and air signs. It's all hitting off my chart. So it's all very favorable and very Leo. But what was the synchronicity? Part two. So what was the synchronicity? I haven't worked it out. I couldn't find the synchronicity. Maybe there's just something that she said. I loved her story about her career. She's an older woman. Her career was really banging in fashion. And she talked a lot about her family, which honestly, I don't know these people, so it's less interesting if it's personal. I'm quite Sagittarian like that. But I thought it was very Gemini as well. The sun, in Gemini, just getting out and about locally, chatting to people generally. Love that idea of synchronicity. If someone stands out to you, or just have a conversation and you've got a message for each other. So I can't work out what that message is, except what's with all the Leos during Leo moon sextiling the sun. So at another point, I was there for hours writing the glamour horoscope. So at another point, I just noticed that the Elvis soundtrack was on from the Elvis movie. And then I go up to the counter to get another cup of tea, and I'm just staring in the line, staring at people rolling croissants and making the pastries, which are beautiful. It's one of the best bakeries at the Gold Coast. And I have to go to the next counter because there's a queue. The lady calls me over, and I saw Catherine Martin, who is half of Bazmark, who is the costumer for the Elvis movie, sitting having a chat with someone. And I was like, well, that's kind of Leo, isn't it? The show, amazing performances, amazing, entertainment. So she did Moulin Rouge, which I've just been posting Kylie Moulin Rouge, my last few posts. So that all just collided. Don't ask me what it means. I don't know, but I would love her to be my friend here at the Gold Coast. Let's put it that way. So interesting. So fabulous. She's an Aquarius. So I love Aquarians. So who knows? So have you ever done that? It might It might be clear later. I don't know. But it was all very fabulous. And I loved that Leo moon, Gemini sun period the last couple of days. So now the moon's moving through to Virgo in a few hours, where it has already picking up a trine, which is a flow, to the north node in Taurus, which is conjunct Jupiter in Taurus. And that's a great way out. I think it might open up any stalemates that have been going on, because there's a big, tense, grand square that is just lasting for way too long. And the moon cycle going around, I think, is really triggering it. So when it comes into a conjunction, it's squaring and opposing the rest of the grand square, grand fixed square. But with this trine, it's a little way out through Virgo, setting up a positive flow and a little exit plan. So that exit plan is Virgoan in nature and that part of your chart. Okay, low tech here with my little Aussie tea towel background. Isn't it cute? So part 3, we're up to the grand square. That is the headline at the moment. I have written down all the details. I'm wondering if you'd be interested in those techie geek facts, or is that boring? I'm not sure. I'm going to post this to my YouTube and I might write them down in the notes. I just don't want to sit here and go over geek details. I'd rather talk about the meaning and just kind of bring it up as conversation. I'd love you to read my books so you know more about what I'm talking about and we can start to have a dialogue about it. So astro power is transits. Cosmic power is a deeper dive into the signs. And it's also gives a bit of a cookbook, actually, disguised cookbook with the planets in each sign. And then there's star power, which goes over all the fundamentals and teaches you how to read a birth chart, but you still need those fundamentals for anything else that you end up doing. So what we're talking about is mundane astrology, which is what's happening generally, because obviously we can't talk about specifics because that's one person at a time and that's bespoke. So back to this grand square. How does it land in your chart? Yes, that's bespoke. That's you. And I won't know. No one knows unless they talk to you and look at your birth chart as well. So book in for a reading. You're welcome to come and see me through my website, astroallstars with a Z.com. I would love to chat to you. Bespoke astrology. So this grand square with the opportunity transit of a trine, moon in Virgo. So what I'm thinking is use that Virgo to, I know I could do this, tidy my desk, tidy your studio, your workspace, tidy your life, wherever Virgo is. And for me, that is through the 4th and 5th house. It's the earlier part of Virgo that picks up the trine, though. So for me, that's the 4th. So get my home and studio into order. Really need to, get organized, clean, mop, vacuum. It's basic, I know, but that's also Virgo, is getting things into order so you can function more efficiently, take care of systems, efficiency. So think about that for you. That is a way out of this grand square, and it connects well to the north node in early Taurus and Jupiter. So where is early Taurus? 2-3 degrees Taurus for you. That's the way out. And the opposition of Mars and Pluto, a lot of people asking me questions about that. Mars and Pluto, I did post on my Instagram yesterday, quite brutal, and they don't want to move. It's like a real dust up in there. So within yourself or your life, where's that happening?